أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين السلام على المهدي السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته and welcome back. In the previous episode we spoke about the year in which the major definite signs will happen. And we said it's going to be an even numbered year. 2, 4, 6, 8. It's not going to be, or the events, the signs, they will not happen in an odd numbered year. That's the first thing that we discussed previously. The year which precedes the year of the Qiyam of the Imam, of the rising of the Imam, major signs will happen and also general signs will happen. We can divide that year into two parts. The first part is the first 6 months of that year, and then the second 6 months of that year. The first 6 months of that year, they're going to be general signs, as we will discuss today. The second 6 months, the second half of the year, is where all the definite signs will happen, which we will discuss in the upcoming videos, inshallah. So keep that in mind. So first, it's a year that's even numbered. And then at the beginning, so the year begins in the month of Muharram. Again, we're speaking about an Islamic calendar Hijri year. It will begin with the month of Muharram. From that month up until Rajab, the month of Rajab, which is 6 months, we're going to have general signs, rapid general signs. First of which, based on the narrations of the al-Bayt alayhim as-salam, earthquakes and cold weather. I will read the narrations for you so you guys can see what the al-Bayt alayhim salam have to say rather than what I say. Al-Imam al-Sadiq salamullah alayhi says in a hadith, علامتها أن تكون في سنة كثيرة الزلازل والبرد. The sign of that year, which all the major events will happen, it's a year that's full of earthquakes and cold weather. Not one earthquake, not two earthquakes, but many earthquakes. Now the question is, what is the location of these earthquakes? Are they going to happen in the Middle East, where pretty much the Zuhur is, or are they going to happen all over the world? Now the narrations of the Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim, they do not specify the location. Rather, we can assume it could be a general sign. It could happen pretty much everywhere. But the key here with the earthquakes is that there is going to be many of them, not one, not two. And in another hadith from the Imam alayhi salam, he says, أُبَشِّرُكُمْ بِالْمَهْدِي, I give you glad tidings of the Mahdi. يُبْعَثُ فِي أُمَّتِي عَلَى اخْتِلَافٍ مِّنَ النَّاسِ وَزِلْزَالٍ. He will be sent to this nation while there is plenty of division amongst people and earthquakes. In another hadith we read, لا يظهر المهدي إلا على خوف شديد. The Mahdi will not come until there's great fear. وزلزال تصيب الناس أو وزلازل تصيب الناس. And earthquakes will hit people. There will be a lot of widespread earthquakes. That's the first sign that we have to look in that year. There's going to be plenty of earthquakes and the weather will change accordingly as well. It's going to be a lot colder. The second sign that the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam tell us that will happen in the year, which is among the general signs, is famine and hunger. Which means that in that year, the year that precedes the Qiyam and the rise of the Imam alayhi salam, is going to be a year where economy collapses. And when the economy collapses and the currency does not work very well, or the currencies drop down in their value, well, obviously the products and commodities will rise, will become a lot higher. So it'll be very expensive to buy bread, very expensive to buy things, and therefore will result to people being in the state of hunger. Now, the hadith is from Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam, where a person came to him and he said to him, what does this verse mean? وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ. We will trial you with a bit of fear and hunger. The Imam Salamullah alayhi said to him, Ya Jabir, ذَاكَ خَاصٌ وَعَامٌ. That's general and specific. فَأَمَّا الْخَاص, as for that which is specific, مِنَ الجُوعِ بِالْكُوفَةِ, is going to be hunger in the city of Kufa. وَيَخُصُّ اللَّهُ بِهِ أَعْدَاءِ آلِ مُحَمَّدٍ فَيَهْلُكُهُمُ اللَّهُ. That will be specific to the enemies of the al-Bayt alayhim as-salam, which they will perish because of that hunger. Now you might be asking and wondering, well, Kufa is a Shia city, right? The residents of the Ahl Kufa, all Shia. But this narration says that hunger will hit them, and specifically the enemies of the Ahl Bayt alayhim as-salam. Well, let's just keep something in mind, that during the Zuhur of the Imam alayhi salam, the emergence and the appearance, and even before the Qiyam of the Imam, plenty of Shia, are going to oppose the Imam and fight the Imam. Now, I don't want to spoil anything yet. You just have to wait for the rest. And you will see why the Ahl Bayt, they said this specifically about the Kufa. Then the Imam Salamullah alayhi says, وَأَمَّا الْعَامِ, as for the general fear and hunger, is going to hit Ash-Sham, Fabil Sham, the Levant areas, Syria, Jordan, Palestine, and Lebanon. And the Imam says, يُصِيبُهُمْ خَوْفٌ وَجُوعٌ مَا أَصَابُهُمْ مِثْلُهُ قَطْ. They will face a state of hunger and fear that they have never seen before. In that year, before the Zuhur of the Imam, there's going to be great amount of fear and hunger in this specific region. وَأَمَّا الْجُوعِ فَقَبْلَ قِيَامِ الْقَائِمِ. As for hunger, it will be before the rising of the Imam. وَأَمَّا الْخَوْفِ فَبَعْدَ قِيَامِ الْقَائِمِ. So at the beginning, there's going in Kufa and in Syria, there's going to be the state of hunger. And then once the Imam rises, the state of fear will be in Sham. Why? Obviously because the Imam now is out and he's going to wage a war with the Sham, with the Levant areas, which are led by the Sufyani army. So we know why there's going to be a lot of fear. Again, hadith from Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam, he says, لَا بُدَّ أَنْ يَكُونَ قَدَّامَ الْقَائِمِ فِتْنَةٌ تَجُوعُ فِيهَا النَّاسِ. Before the appearance of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam, there will be a sedation, problems amongst people, that many will become hungry. وَيَصِيبُهُمْ خَوْفٌ شَدِيدٌ مِنَ الْقَتْلِ. And there will be a great amount of fear because of the killing. وَنَقْصٌ مِنَ الْأَمْوَالِ, less wealth, وَالْأَنفُسِ, and in souls, وَالثَّمَرَاتِ, and fruits. And then the Imam says, فَإِنَّ ذَلِكَ فِي كِتَابِ اللَّهِ لَبَيِّنٌ. This has been mentioned in the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then again he recites this verse, وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرَ الصَّابِرِينَ. Again, you will be trialed, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the things that we will be trialed with. That's sign number 2. Sign number 3 in that year, again a general sign, is death and wars. There will be plenty of death and plenty of wars in the first 6 months leading up to the month of Rajab, before the year of the Qiyam of the Imam. Imam as-Sadiq Salamullah alayhi says, قَبْلَ هَذَا الْأَمْرِ قَتْلٌ بَيُوحٌ. Before the emergence of the Imam, before the affair of the Imam alayhi salam, there will be a continuous death. فَقِيلَ وَمِنَ الْبَيُوحِ. He uses the word bayuh in Arabic. They said to him, what does that word mean? He says, دَائِمٌ لَا يَفْتَرُ. It will be continuous, it will not stop. So wars will rage, and there will be no ceasefires, there will be no peace treaties, there will be nothing. It's just going to continue until the Zuhur of the Imam alayhi as-salam. When it comes to death, Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam, he says, قَدَّامَ الْقَائِمِ مَوْتًان. Before the Qā'im, before the riser, there will be 2 types of death. مَوْتٌ أَبْيَض وَمَوْتٌ أَحْمَرٌ. أو موت أحمر وموت أبيض, white death and red death, حتى يذهب من كل 7 5, until out of each 7 people, 5 will die and only 2 would remain. So we're talking about a massive scale war globally. This is pretty much a nuclear war by the sounds of it. Then the Imam Salamullah alayhi, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, in a hadith, he says, بين يدي المهدي موت أحمر وموت أبيض. Before the rising of the Mahdi alayhi salam, there will be a red death and a white death. فأما الموت الأحمر فالسيف. As for the red death, it will be the sword. وأما الموت الأبيض فالطاعون. As for the white death, will be at the plague. So obviously viruses will spread. Now whether it's man-made virus or virus due to the nuclear wars that will be erupted, or I don't know, some other causes. But there will be a virus that will kill lots and lots of people. And I think, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but like with COVID, for example, was man-made virus. And you could see the same thing happen during the appearance of the Imam alayhi salam. They could come up with a man-made virus that will kill millions and millions of people. And again, we end with a hadith from Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. He says, إذا أراد الله أن يظهر قائم آل محمد بدأ بالحرب من صفر إلى صفر. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to bring the riser from the al-Bayt alayhim salam, the first thing that will happen is wars. And it will begin from the month of Safar, the year before the year of the Imam, and it will end at Safar, the year which the Imam rises. So if you guys remember, we said the Imam rises in the month of Muharram, and the month of the Muharram is the month of Safar. So once the Imam comes out, announces himself, then things will settle down, wars will stop, because people now, they are shocked with something new, and the whole world, they have their eyes focused on Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam, so everything will cease. And lastly, the last sign, a general sign in the year that happens before the Zuhur of the Imam alayhi salam, is rain and floods. There will be plenty, a lot of rain and a lot of floods. A hadith from Imam al-Sadiq salamullah alayhi, he says, قدام القائم لسنة غيداقة يفسد فيها الثمار والتمر في النخل فلتشك في ذلك. The year before the Qā'im, the heavens will rain heavily. To rain so much so that all the fruits in the trees and everything will get destroyed. And the Imam says, do not doubt that. Now, when it comes to rain, this is the last thing I'm going to speak about today, but we need it for the next video, inshallah, that to come. The Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, in another hadith, when he tries to give more details regarding rain and floods, he says, السنة التي يقوم فيها القائم تمطر الأرض 24 مطرة. The year which the Qā'im is about to rise is going to rain 24 times. Now, 24 times is being translated to 24 days. So not that the clouds, they come, they run for half an hour, they cut, they start again, and then we keep counting 24. Because other narrations kind of explain that one, but making it 24 days in a row. It's going to rain heavily, 24 days continuous. And as a result, there will be lots and lots of floods, and all crops will get destroyed in the process. The Imam alayhi salam, when he talks about rain and floods, we ask the question, in which location is that? Now, it could be globally, but based on this narration I'm going to read for you now, it kind of specified to the land of Zuhur itself, the land where the Imam is going to appear. Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam, he says in another hadith, Sanatul Fath, the year where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens up and the Imam alayhi salam comes, ينبثق الفرات حتى يدخل في أزقة الكوفة. The Euphrates will flood until the water will enter the streets of Kufa. Now, for those who've been to Kufa, they know that the Euphrates is really close. It's just like behind the city of Kufa. And the Tigris River is on the other side. And Tigris River now, for those who are watching the news, is completely dried out. Why? Because the Turks, they decided to close the dams, and now there's no water in the Tigris. It's completely dried out. The Euphrates still has a bit of water. But again, it's going to dry out as well, because the Turks, they're still doing their thing by closing the dams on people, and the people of Iraq, they're paying heavy consequences due to the actions of the Turks. Now, what will happen is that the 24 days, it will rain heavily, that these rivers will flood, and the city of Kufa will be flooded as well. Now, I leave it here. I end with the rain, because rain will continue into the second month, or the 6th month, I should say, of Rajab, the second half of the second year, where all major events happen. And why is rain important? Because it gives us the exact timing of the appearance of the first 3 definite signs. The first 3 definite signs, we can pinpoint their timing based on the rain that is mentioned in this narration. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.